You're listening to For the Republic, a love letter to Star Wars animation.
Hello there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 100 of For the Republic, a love letter to Star Wars animation. The whole crew is here, Andrew, Connor, and Donovan, and we are here to not only talk about the Zillo Beast arc of the Clone Wars, but we're a little past spooky season. We're like, on the aftermath of spooky season. It still kind of works. But also to just celebrate the fact that we are 100 episodes into our Star Wars journey, and it is surreal that it's
only
been
kind of half. We're not even halfway.
We're not even halfway through season 2 of the Clone Wars. But some crazy Star Wars stuff has happened since the last time we recorded. We have news of a movie we may never get. I went to Galaxy's Edge again, which was really fun. That was really cool. Again, at night, seeing the Falcon and like just going on Rise of the Resistance, peak experience. Just that ride at night. The detail of, I didn't even notice it, of like Batuu is like in the dark, like you see the night sky on the ride at night. I'm like, the detail there.
Wow.
And then I rode on Star Tours about 5 times, tried to get Cassian. Didn't get Cassian. I'll be back. Don't worry. I'll be pounding on the door to get in. But it was a really fun time.
And I'll be waiting with Yabba.
Yeah. But then, of course, like I was like, okay, I'm going to enjoy my vacation. I'm going to have a good time. Literally the first day in, the Ben Solo news breaks. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, I got to make something real quick. So I literally walked out of my hotel room, filmed that quick TikTok, and then walked back in. Oh,
hell yeah.
The tradition. We'll be talking about that as well. But first, what would the 100th episode of For the Republic be without a 100th episode edition of the Jedi Archives?
Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
If this is your first time joining us, thank you for joining us here on this special episode. But this is essentially our podcast Hall of Fame. Each episode we nominate something Star Wars related. Sometimes we use that term very loosely, and we decide what goes up into the Hall of Fame. Now, last episode, I should say, was Lego Star Wars themed because we reviewed Rebuild the Galaxy. Donovan and I nominated Pirate Queen Padme and the Dark Falcon. And for the second time in the history of the podcast, we tied. Straight up tied the votes.
So, if that's the case, may I elect to be the tiebreaker here?
Yes.
Oh, go on then.
Okay.
I was going to pull up the wheel again, but I will let you do this.
So as someone who hasn't really watched Lego, may I have a visual, like an image of each pick?
Yes.
If possible.
I got a visual for you right here.
Okay. It's a Dark Falcon.
All right, here I got 2 low-res images that I will put in the chat.
2 low-res images.
2 low-res
The Star Wars special.
Mm-hmm. So here's that.
Oh my god. Okay.
And then here's a nice little side profile.
Okay.
Very sassy.
All right. So have you come to a conclusion?
I'm sorry, Don. I gotta go with Pirate Queen Padme.
I mean, it's Padme. I knew there was always going to be a chance.
I was kind of shocked she's in like her Royale gear.
Yeah, it's like the Naboo theme.
She has like a proper like.
I would have expected like a pirate, like
it's
pirate
pretty
gear.
sick. Like you go to Naboo and they have like Jabba's like skiffs, but they're pirate themed.
And there's a
Cassian's on the crew. It's 3PO. There's someone else. I think R2D2.
R2D2, and then there's a pit of Carcoon, but instead of the Sarlacc, it's just a bunch of angry, rabid Snopes.
Yeah. So,
who even cares at this point?
Who even cares at this point? So my nomination is related to what I was just talking about with Galaxy's Edge. My nomination is Rise of the Resistance, which is the flagship ride at Galaxy's Edge. I just think it's one of the coolest rides at Disney. Like, everything is an experience, from like the wait to like the queue to get into the queue to the queue to, like, if you've been on the ride, like, it's really cool. Like, they take you through. You start off on a resistance ship, and then you get captured by the First Order, and then you go through this whole thing with the resistance trying to save you. It is such a cool ride. You got all the characters from the sequels, which, again, you know, contrary to popular belief to what the internet tells you, you know, the amount of people that you go to that park and they love those characters, it's crazy. It's almost like people enjoy those characters or something. But no, it's just great. Every time I see Poe and Finn and Rey pop up, I get really excited. It's just a great ride, great experience. If you haven't, I believe on Disney Plus they have like POV videos of like each ride at Galaxy's Edge and a couple of other rides at the parks. I would definitely check that out. We went on, how many times did we do it this year? Twice, maybe 3 times. It was just, I think twice, because we did Hollywood Studios 2 days. It was just a really fun time. So I had to have something related to my trip. That's my nomination this week. Connor, you've been hyping this up for the last several days. What do we got this time?
So it's not Bryce Harper. No. So I just, as you were talking, I had to relook at the archive inductees.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized my one favorite character is not on there, but I am not nominating them this time around. No, I am nominating the GOAT, Iden Versio.
Oh,
okay. All right. Okay. I wasn't expecting that one.
Listen, Janita, if you're listening, I know you're not, but still, there's still love for your character. She's fucking awesome. So,
yeah.
She fought Jakku, dude. Like, come on. She helped bring down the empire she once served. Pretty damn awesome.
Pretty damn awesome indeed.
Also the star of an incredibly underrated book, as we all knew from the SWE book club, Inferno Squad. And if you know... Book. Oh, and by the way, hashtag fuck Hask. If you know, you know.
Fuck Hask. Fuck Coley Lynn.
I feel like if this episode happened when the big Battlefront 3 campaign was going on, you would have had this one in the bag. I still think you might, but that's a good pick. I definitely need to go through and like finally finish that campaign because it's been a long time. I'm so behind on my video games, on my Star Wars games in particular. Haven't even touched Outlaws yet. Like we're so behind
on. I'm still stuck. What's the planet from The Rise of Skywalker? The snowy planet where they meet Kijimi. Thank you. Yes, I'm still stuck on Kijimi. So yeah, like I'm also like massively behind in my games.
Speaking of Rise of Skywalker, not to get Star Tours pilled here again, but there's a really cool segment where you go to Kef Beer, and it has one of the outcomes. And I was just like, I'm shocked how cool this is. Because like you like go underwater, you get dragged down by a Dianoga. It's like really cool.
Ooh.
I was like, you know what? You know, the Exegol part's really sweet on this ride. The Kef Beer, I'm like, maybe they knew what they were doing here after all. But Don, what you got for us this week for the 100th episode?
Well, I've kind of gone like I kind of was coming to the table with nothing really. I'd completely forgotten about the archives just like ahead of recording. But as it happens, because we were talking about the Lego special, I have someone who I didn't get to nominate last time, and that is Jackson. Because I've always had a fondness for that character.
Real deep cut.
Yeah, you probably haven't heard of me because I'm a real deep cut. It's a character I've always had a weird kind of fondness for. I've never read the Marvel comics, but just the absurdity of like this giant, like anthropomorphic rabbit who just like pals around with the likes of Han Solo, and the idea that he came from like the early Marvel comics continuation of Star Wars when like there was no Empire or anything. He was one of the earliest additions to like Legends or expanded universe lore, and the idea that he was at the time this absurd thing that other writers wanted to get rid of, but has been gradually re-accepted into the fold. And finally we get him in the Lego special, voiced brilliantly by Ben Schwartz. so yeah, like just he's a fascinating character, and honestly, I wouldn't be upset if they brought him into live action or found a way to put him in like an animated show like Maul Shadow Lord. Can you imagine Darth Maul having to like hire Jackson for like a job?
They might be able to make it work. I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like they would.
They made an episode with a Bad Batch.
It feels like something Favreau would try and sneak into the Mandalorian. Like that's like what especially like the early seasons. Like it's just like, oh, like you had Will Hood's like little ice cream maker, like as a MacGuffin kind of thing. Like I just
the
like
Camtono.
Yeah. It's something that he would do there.
I really remember with the Camtono, I was like, even then I was like, man, that's a deep cut. And I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I know that's a deep cut.
That's how I like kind of knew like that was the kind of show we were getting, is when they were doing like the behind the scenes promo, like Favreau was posting pictures on Instagram, and that was like the third picture he tweeted. It was like, oh yeah, here's the Mandalorian armor, here's this, here's that. I'm like, okay, we're reaching for the people that look at every frame and have the old tenor toys for this show. But those are our nominations for this week. You can choose between Iden Versio, Rise of the Resistance, and of course Jackson the Space Bunny. So go ahead. We will put out a Twitter poll.
Vote for my goat, please. She did not die to get snubbed, hopefully, in the archives.
Hopefully not.
May she rest in peace.
Iden is massively underrated, I think, as a character. And I have Inferno Squad to thank for that. I genuinely came away from that book a changed Star Wars fan.
I didn't finish reading Resistance Reborn, but I remember when it first came out, and like her daughter, I believe, is like one of the central characters of that book. And I was like, ooh, maybe I should finish Battlefront 2. So
well,
yeah, no, that was a deep cut. I remember. Well, not really a deep cut, but I was like, oh, we're bringing them into the sequel trilogy. Like that would have been cool to bring that forward there. But like I said, we are going to put out a poll shortly after this episode drops where you can decide who goes into the archives this week. Now, I did mention ahead of time before we started recording that I did have a little bit of a surprise because I was running late, but that's because I found something. We got ourselves a Scavenger show and tell.
Yes.
So I have mentioned that I've been in, like, while I'm thrifting, have been looking to reclaim a lot of the old, like, young readers Star Wars books I had when I was a kid. I finally found two of them last time I went with the old Jude Watson books, which was Jedi Apprentice, The Evil Experiment, which I definitely remember reading this one. And I had this one as a kid, the episode 1 Queen Amidala journal. So I had to show those off. Today, I found two more. So this one I 100% had, which is Jedi Quest, which is like an
my god, fucking anthropomorph. Oh my god.
It's like the Animorphs ass cover right here.
No, Animorphs, dude, no. Oh my god. That takes me back. Dude.
Dude, this is literally just Jake Lloyd and Hayden Christensen's face, just like more.
The Animorphs
that is weird
of those books, but also the random ass art from like Attack of the Clones and like Phantom Menace on those book covers is like the greatest thing about them. Like the fact that like you'll just have like some random fucking still from like one of those movies. Or some other fucking random concept art or some behind-the-scenes photos. Or they, like, mash it together. So it's just this, like, weird amalgamation of, like, this dude's body on this dude's head.
I remember I had a Boba Fett one, and it was, like, Jango Fett from Attack of the Clones and Mace Windu, but it's like, oh, no, that's Boba Fett. Like, get it? Because he's wearing his armor. And I was just like, okay, this is definitely the 2000s. God. I also found this one's kind of in rough shape, but Jedi Apprentice... The Dark Rival, which this is a really cool cover as well. This is the second issue in this Jedi Apprentice series. The one I got was issue 12. So apparently this is a really big book series, but I definitely remember reading some of them as a kid.
Honestly.
So I'm just reclaiming as much of these as I can.
We say this a lot, like Star Wars fans, not Star Wars fans, but like fans of stuff in general, I feel like say this a lot of like, they were on crack when they made this. Dude, whoever designed the book covers 1,000%
Yeah.
was on crack.
Can I see the Qui-Gon one again?
They
'Cause
were
that
on death
looks-
sticks, dude.
That looks like a video game
Evil
still
Experiment?
almost.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
this
the Evil
is creepy
Experiment.
as hell. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, here's my question. Because like I know we need to actually get into the episode of talking about the Zillo Beast. How many more of those books do you have? I want to see the rest of those covers.
Just these two. Or because I have not found any others besides these ones.
Fuck.
And I'm trying to
Okay.
find more of them.
I
will be updating though.
but it is
I also found
messed up.
I just wanted to pick this up. I found this Force Awakens tie-in book, Ray's story. I just
Oh wow, the cover doesn't have an animorph for some weird fucking
I know.
change thing.
Oh,
because
there's pictures in this book? What is this? But I just remember like this book was like the first official released art of Rey with the Skywalker saber.
Oh,
so I was
yeah.
like, oh, but I never ever saw it in stores. Found that. So I was like, all right, wanted to pick those up. I saw this out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, it's like I had a Vietnam flashback when I saw this cover. Like, this unlocked something in my brain.
Dude, I need to look these up, man. Early 2000 Star Wars book covers, man.
No,
Holy crap.
they were doing some crazy stuff back in the day.
No,
But I will be finding more of those because I have so many memories of either just like going to the library or like seeing those in like the old Scholastic book fairs and like reading those as a kid. Because like I don't know, I don't have any of them anymore, and I was looking for years for them, and I finally have found a couple. The last two I've been in here, so will be posting as I get there.
okay, so I have found my Jude Watson Star Wars, but it is in terrible shape, and I'm ashamed of it. But this is the one I have. It was a combination book, 2 books for the price of 1. So it was Legacy of the Jedi and Secrets of the Jedi, and so it's really really cool.
Yeah, those are the old stills, just right.
Yeah, and it's like. Yeah, the good old reliable stills. Let's put them on the book. But yeah, like the first one's really cool because it's like a generations kind of thing because you go through like each like pairing of like the kind of like Skywalker Jedi Master Padawan thing where it's like, you know, it's first is a story with Count Dooku and Yoda, then it's Dooku and Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Anakin, and they're all encountering the same fucking loser bad guy over and over again.
It's like the 2 pirates or the 3 pirates from
but like
the Living
but
Force.
with like a guy who's got like a tortured backstory. And then the second one is Secrets of the Jedi, and it's basically like the backstory for Obi-Wan's sort of like
no
love.
friggin' way. Dude, I just Googled
like,
something randomly because okay, you were talking about Jedi Quest, Andrew, but I guess I didn't put the 2 and 2 together because I'm like, Jedi Quest, why the fuck did that sound so familiar? And I'm like, that's not a book series, is it? It is a book series. And I'm like, let's see, Animorph Anakin, fucking, what the fuck is this? Is it fucking young ass? Like, what the fuck? Okay, I gotta.
Well, I'm pretty sure Jude Watson was who introduced Siri Tachi.
Yes,
to the old
okay.
Legends canon.
That's what I was getting to because like she's in the Secrets of the Jedi book, and that's basically of showing her and Obi-Wan's attraction to each other as Padawans. And there's also like
one cover.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, I just sent one.
Is this like the original cover, or is this like
I don't know, but
print?
like
I gotta see this.
I really
what
don't know.
the hell is that?
I guess
why is he in pajamas?
Where'd it go?
Those are Jedi robes. Why do they look so
that's
loose?
the original cover. Like
that looks like the still they take of like kids when they get kid models to pose in like Star Wars licensed pajamas.
Dude, these fucking covers are
We're 2 random kids.
fucking batshit crazy.
Andrew, should we just scrap all of our nominees and just put like these Jedi Quest covers in the archives?
No, I'm not scrapping Iden Versio. But genuinely, we should do one. We should do one day where it's just like I'm nominating this book cover.
Yeah. Like we all just like randomly pick a.
Finally, it decided to. My StreamYard's been acting up, but they're.
Like,
what is
what the fuck?
look at the kid in the background as well, at the bottom right. Like, just the look to the camera, like, hello.
Look, it's such a fucking. Like,
I'm in a Star Wars.
It looks like an ad for like the old Kinect Star Wars game. Like that's what it looks like to me.
like, dude, they should have just put young Anakin's fucking. It looks like they just literally cut off young Anakin's head, put it on some fucking other guy's body, and just like pasted the two together as best as they could. And we're like, fuck it, that's the book cover. Like,
oh my goodness,
that's wild.
They knew what they were doing back then.
God,
They had the sauce.
dude, they were gifted with the sauce, man. Maybe a little too much.
huffing the spice.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude, we haven't even talked about the Zillo Beast. Holy
Moving
shit.
on.
Oh my God, we haven't even got to like the news that rocked the entire Star Wars fandom.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
just on
like-
some random Tuesday.
Dude, who gives a fuck? Zillo Beast. No, I'm just kidding.
So on an October evening,
Listen, Adam Driver is Listen. Ben Solo's temporary. Ayla Secura is forever because she showed up in episode 19.
yeah.
Let's talk about her. No, I'm just kidding. She's my queen, but we gotta talk about Ben.
She
Solo.
showed up
Yeah.
and the Zillo Beast strikes
totally.
back.
But yeah,
So one random October evening, Adam Driver decides to grace us with an interview where he says, yeah, so I would love to come back to Star Wars. Pretty much, Steven Soderbergh and I were creating a Ben Solo script. It would have been after The Rise of Skywalker. We spent, I think he said like years on
2
this movie. He
years.
said it was one of the coolest effing scripts he's ever read. Lucasfilm loved it. Filoni loved it. Kathleen Kennedy loved it. Bob Iger said, no. And then just casually decided to drop this bombshell on us. And the internet has not been the same ever since.
I mean,
So,
within
yeah,
48 hours,
we could have
there was
had
there was
this
a plane
movie.
flying over Lucas, like the Disney lot, with a banner. Like that's how
Yeah.
quick the Raylos work. Apparently,
We could have had this movie potentially by now already. Like we may have already seen this movie at this point if this was happening around 2021, 2020, 2021, according to Adam Driver's timeline. And that's just crazy to me that we could have had this. And Iger's reasoning was, according to Adam, it was, oh, well, I don't see how Ben Solo could have been alive. What I took that is, hey, the internet's being mean about the sequel trilogy, so we're not doing this movie.
yeah.
That's what I took that as. But
And the internet is
I think
always
this-
right
yeah.
about Star Wars. Hey,
oh yeah, definitely. They were right about the prequels. They were right about this. They were right about the Acolyte. They were right about the Clone Wars. They were right about so many different things. But I think this has actually done the opposite. Is yes, if you go on corners of the internet, you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram. Big thing is, isn't it cool? Look at this original opinion I have. Episode 9, episode 8, episode 7 suck. But I think this has actually done the opposite. And I think the realization of, man, we could have had this movie has actually kind of early jump started the sequel renaissance for a lot of people, because I've seen at least 4 or 5 different TikToks of, hey, actually, you know what? Last Jedi is kind of good. And I'm tired of pretending it's not. And honestly, I had a feeling like this always happens. Like it was the thing for 15 years was, the prequels R-worded my childhood. The prequels, George Lucas sucks. We forget now, all the people that are like, oh, George Lucas should take back Star Wars were the same people that were practically begging this dude to sell the franchise every goddamn day for 15 years because he stabbed their childhood and showed them the bloody knife and laughed in their face. That's how they reacted to the prequel trilogy. And of course, our generation at that point was like, these are the movies we grew up with. So we had a lot of fond feelings for these movies. And now that has kind of, we're at that point now where we're at that same point where when The Force Awakens came out, Revenge of the Sith was 10 years old. Now, Force Awakens is 10 years old, and we're starting to get that comeback, whether it be at, like I said, the parks, or whether it be slowly on social media. It's like these things happen. And I think once this trilogy, and it's starting a little bit, but once they really start to get more supplemental material and they finally are like, hey, let's tell stories in this era again and after this era again. Hopefully, like we had the Finn and Janna book,
but also
we're getting that Rey book next year. New Jedi Order is coming out at some point. Starfighter is, of course, after episode 9. So I feel like we're getting in a new direction here, which I really appreciate. But also, man, I am devastated we don't have this movie. But as you were going to say.
Oh, I mean, where to begin? Like, just the reasoning that like Iger gave for starters. Obviously, it smelled of bullshit like immediately because it was like, you know, oh, I just don't see how Ben Solo can be alive.
Do I need to remind you what episode 9 was about?
Yeah. Somehow Palpatine returned. They made Darth Maul a eunuch just to like explain away how he could come back after falling down a pit and being cut in half. Like these characters, like we've had so many stories in Star Wars already where these characters have cheated death, and it almost kind of feels like, hey, that's the job of a film like this, to explain how he could come back, really. And I think
Alex Stamen said it perfectly. It's like, wouldn't that be the point of the movie? Is to
the point of the movie to
how
explain
he came back.
Like the search for Spock didn't just start with the words somehow Spock returned and expect the audience to deal with it. They told a story about how Spock came back to life after dying. So like it kind of feels like the hunt for Ben Solo would have done something similar. And yeah, you were right on the money, Andrew. It breaks my heart a little bit that this film didn't get made. I'm so heartened and like paradoxically to see so much of the Star Wars fandom come together and say how much they would have liked to have seen this movie. And you never know, maybe the pressure might actually kind of like get to Disney, and they might, and because we all know that Disney are very reactive at this kind of thing. We saw what they did with the prequels when opinions started turning against the sequels, and how they've run away from the sequels since then. Maybe now they're starting to change course and whatever. So hopefully maybe there might
people complain about and I'm one of those people that complain about how the sequel trilogy feels so disconnected from the prequel trilogy, especially The Rise of Skywalker, where they're like, oh, we're going to tie in all 9 movies, and they really only tie in A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, really. It's because they said we're going to do what we can to not acknowledge the prequel trilogy because people didn't like them. Like, do you remember early pitches of, oh, I'm going to blow up Coruscant, I'm going to kill Jar Jar and leave a skeleton in the Jakku Desert? Because, like, that was, like, the spite against the prequels at that time. But
so fun fact for our listeners, just to demonstrate like how normalized prequel hate was around like the 2000s to the early 2010s. So when like The Force Awakens was like holding like casting calls in the UK, I went to the casting call in Manchester, like spent several hours, didn't really get anywhere. It was a fun time. But I met a guy there who was like, I met a dude there who I became friends with, and he was we started talking about Star Wars and stuff because we were queuing for Star Wars, and he mentioned, what do you think of the prequels? And I said, honestly, I don't think they're as bad as people make them out to be. And he gestured to the heavens, I shit you not, and shouted, finally someone else. Like, that is how normalized prequel hate was. And then people wonder why the sequels ran away from being connected to the prequels meaningfully. People wonder why we didn't get like Hayden Christensen showing up in The Rise of Skywalker. That's the reason why, because prequel hate was so normalized. And it's the same thing with the sequels to a degree now. People have been so
a rush production with episode 9, so you kind of have to take that into effect.
Yeah,
which is 100% true. And it's like, and it's the kind of thing.
It's not like Lucasfilm wanted to push back episode 9 like a whole year or whatever to just I don't know. I can't remember when episode 9 was supposed to originally be slated to release. But when Carrie Fisher passed away, Lucasfilm was like, hey, we kind of want to push this back more so we can figure out what to do next. And then Disney was like, fuck y'all.
I think it was originally May of 19, and then it got pushed to December, and they were like, we're not moving this any further.
I mean, if they had just pushed it to like May next year, they probably wouldn't have brought it out until like 2021 because of like, so there would have been a lot of time.
But also, like, do we know if COVID happens?
Like, it's just crazy.
What a trade-off. We don't get COVID and episode 9 releases later.
Yeah, it just would have been. Would have been wild to see.
It would have been wild to see to see this film really, because like the hunt for Ben Solo, like another reason why I can't understand why they wouldn't make it is because honestly, from the way a lot of the fandom feels and the way
It's
Adam
Disney,
feels,
Donovan. Do you see what they've been doing the last couple of years?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Don't get me started.
Really,
Jimmy,
the
come on.
last couple months, you know, don't need to really say anything more than that. It's not surprising. Oh, I don't know
man,
how he's alive. That's the guy who kind of bent the knee to some random dude that's like somehow still alive and holds a very big position of power in some other country or whatever. Oh no, it's not like Star Wars imitates real life. I'm not making any
definitely
sense
not.
here. We should get on with the Zillo
Yeah.
Beast.
So, anyways, hashtag bring back Ben Solo.
Hashtag bring back Ben Solo.
This has made me feel confident that Adam Driver will return at some point.
Yes.
Whether or not it's this exact script,
Adam Driver will return.
I don't know.
Avengers Doomsday.
Avengers
Doomsday.
Well,
I just
Lacey
feel
Gilleran from Resistance Broadcast.
If this was Adam
like
testing the waters to see if people would be happy with Ben Solo coming back, I think it worked.
Did you see the photo we had taken recently in front of the arcade machine, and he made sure to have this show that it was a Star Wars arcade machine?
No, I didn't see that. That's great.
That's pretty slick, Adam.
Again, people have thought that he has not wanted to come back for a while because he's just an aloof guy. But no, this interview is no, if I have a good director and a good story, I'll be there in a second. And I'm like,
I thought he was done. I thought he had made his peace and he'd moved on from Star Wars, kind of like Oscar Isaac initially, circa 2020. But I mean, it's another layer of the devastation that he really was passionate about this film. And there's so many possibilities you could have dealt with that. I mean, there was the added thing that came out of when people looked at the Art of the Acolyte previews and were like, oh, hey, Chimera was probably going to be the first Knight of Ren. And it's like, oh, okay. And I immediately thought, hey, you could have had Chimera fighting Ben Solo in the World Between Worlds or the Netherworld of the Force as this representative of the dark legacy that he has to leave behind or something. Or you could have had Luke show up and they could have healed their rift or whatever. And it's people could have literally figuratively moved on from the Rise of Skywalker and how disappointing it was that Ben Solo died in that. And it's it's there's so many thoughts that come spilling out when you talk about this. It's absolutely wild. But as you said, it is reinvigorating in a way. And I was saying before that Lacey Gilleran from the Resistance broadcast, she actually posited a theory that they may in fact have retrofitted the new Jedi Order film because they keep rewriting it to include some of this. So maybe that's where they're going with the new Jedi Order film now that Daisy's got a bigger part in it, I guess. But who knows? All that I have to say is that it's wild. I mean, I'd say that it was a scary time for Bob Iger, looking at his Instagram. But I think the person who had a scarier week was David Harbour when that album came out. That's all I'll say about that.
I'm just mad that the Knights of Ren finally could have been cool, man.
I was peddling my theory. I was peddling my theory about Chimera fighting Kylo Ren and making a very, very obvious reference to the Lily Allen album.
Maybe somehow, someday, maybe Ben Solo will return.
General, there's something down here with us. And it's not Seppi's.
The Zillo Beast, and the Zillo Beast strikes back.
And now it is time to talk about the Zillo Beast arc of the Clone Wars. What better way to celebrate episode 100 than by talking about the Clone Wars again? And we start with the titular episode. The Zillo Beast was directed by Giancarlo Volpe. It was written by Craig Titley. And the moral of the story is choose what is right, not what is easy. I had not watched these episodes either since they released or...
Oh, God. Wait, are we back?
It died on me again, man.
Okay, we're good. Because I heard or, and then I heard a pause, and I'm like, okay, I think he might just be doing that for dramatic effect. And then it went off for a couple more seconds. I'm like, oh, this isn't dramatic effect. This is the internet shit itself.
The internet
Disney are
does not
coming
want
for
this
us.
episode to be recorded.
Dude, this is the 100th episode. For our listeners and viewers, you should be expecting this at this point.
Bob Iger.
We're the Republic.
Yeah,
Technical
Bob Iger heard us
difficulties.
shitting on Disney and was like, "Nope, I'm taking this episode."
Yep.
Stop talking about Ben Solo.
I'm taking this man's internet. Yeah.
Okay.
Malice there.
Yeah.
Very fast, very dangerous.
Yeah, no, it we started off and it was just straight up the Republic was getting their ass kicked. And I was surprised. The visuals in this episode really impressed me. As I was about to say before my internet shit on itself, I had not watched these episodes since they released, or since my first full watch of the show, I should say. And I was just impressed of how well they've held up. And especially, and we'll get into this a lot, the hindsight of us recording this, the Bad Batch season 2 and 3 have added so much to these episodes. It's crazy. And I'm just worried to say anything now because I feel like anytime I start going on a tangent, my internet's going to die on me.
Well, can I build off of what you said at the start? Because you
go
talked
right
about how
ahead.
impressive the visuals were. So, like the opening battle, the scope of it really impressed me. Like the whole, like the amount of droids like on the screen and stuff. It reminded me, oh yeah, we're very much in Series 2 territory. Because I kind of like charting the like confidence of the production of the animation level, like from season to season. Season 1, they were having to sort of make do with the constraints. Really, they could only do certain kinds of stories. Hence, why you get stuff like Hidden Enemy. In season 2, they were starting to push out a little bit more, and then season 3 is when they get really confident with some of the stories, like with the I'm a Gundai episode. But yeah, like it was really cool, and Malastare was. I have a fondness for Malastare because of episode 1 Racer and all that kind of stuff, and it was really cool seeing the Dugs again. The Dugs are a really underrated race of aliens.
So real. Seeing the Dugs just fighting battle droids out there, I was like, "That is."
I love the doofy little run, like that little run.
Dude,
where
every
they were,
time
like,
I think of the Dogs, I just think of those fuckers in Star Wars Bounty Hunter. That's the first thing I think of.
Oh yeah, I
with
remember
them.
that.
Because you fight on Malice, you go to Malice.
You go to
in
Malice
that game, and it looks so different than in Clone Wars. But also, it's like it's a planet. They probably have different biomes on each planet. So like you're probably on like one part of Malastare, and then this Clone Wars episode is on another part of Malastare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Slightly awkward that the head Dug was called Doge.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. It's funny, but it's like, all right, this was made in 2010. Like, it's kind of some slack here. Nobody knew this shit was gonna happen. Nobody.
I mean, he is like a greedy businessman who wants to extort like a whole ass government to do his dirty work for him. So yeah, there's maybe some unintentional parallels there.
George did know this was going to happen, but yes,
I wrote in my notes he has the strongest chin, and it is really distracting.
He does.
Like all the other dogs have the little pointed chin. He has like the massive jaw, and it's so distracting.
But yeah, no, they do a really good job at making the Republic look really overwhelmed at the beginning of this episode. Like there's droid after droid, and you see like the sweeping shots of them marching, and it was just really, really. Again, this is one of those "it's so cool" episodes. It's in my notes a lot. Be prepared, guys. It's episode 100. It had to happen. But the Republic, Palpatine has authorized the use of a new weapon, the electro-proton bomb. He assures them that it will only affect droids. It won't affect any of the Dug soldiers. It won't affect any of the Jedi or the clones. They drop the bomb.
It's just like in Star Wars.
Yeah, you see, they drop the bomb on them. It's just
a little bit like this movie Godzilla, where they drop the nuke.
It's more like the fucking. We talked about this episode earlier.
Blue Shadow virus.
Yeah,
no,
Blue Shadow virus or
not
Bounty
Blue
Hunters?
Shadow. No, when I'm thinking of the bomb, I'm thinking of the fucking defoliator.
Help! I'll be defoliated.
The fucking defoliator from season 1.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that episode.
So I suppose the
like
Republic
Catholic.
took his technology, and I suppose you could argue that Lockdurd's technology was then taken by the Republic and appropriated into the electron proton bomb. That would kind of make sense, really.
Listen. That Republic scientist, Signvor Ball, she's might hear me out. That's all I'm saying.
She's voiced, incidentally, by the same actress who voices Cutler Quane's Twi'lek wife in both.
Who's also a very well. She's not even just a hero. Yeah, Cullen Quinn's wife is not a hear me out. She's just hot. So,
well, I mean, that's Twi'leks for you.
Twi'leks, man. It's
Twi'leks,
so funny too. This is not related to anything, but like I was on a bracket stream episode with Eli from In a Galaxy, and Andrew Geha was on there, and like Harrison Dula won the bracket. And I'm just, dude, half my reasoning for voting for Hera in this was like, dude, Twi'leks, man. The reason I voted for Hera in that bracket stream was like, dude, A, it's Hera, and B,
the Rebel Queen.
Twi'leks are hot. So,
but as Don alluded to, I don't know what I've missed is my internet has decided to go back to
I was
95.
just talking about how the Republic scientist that appears in these two episodes is might hear me out.
Oh no.
That's it.
Oh no. Oh, I will look forward to seeing that in the edit. But anyways, bomb goes off. Looks like straight up like a shot from a war movie. It was really cool. Just seeing like them go from like, oh, we're screwed to this bomb took out like the entire separatist army in one go. But because of course it does. There's a bit more side effects than they said there were going to be. I thought a really nice detail, like once like the electromagnetism started going off, was like Anakin struggling with his hand.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really nice little detail there.
That was really cool.
And it takes out the droids, but it creates a massive sinkhole in the ground, destroys like the entire battlefield. A bunch of clones get engulfed in that sinkhole, and they have to like bring a search and rescue party to go find them. And then this episode starts turning into Godzilla, and it's really awesome.
Oh yeah.
The thing I really like, the one thing I really liked about this episode is that it really subtly showcased the fact that the Republic or like the Jedi are like kind of under the Republic's thumb at this time, because Mace Windu was all like, allowing the Dugs to kill the Zillo Beast violates their own stand-in as Jedi and what they stand for and who they are. And then the Chancellor was like, dude, fuck that. Just kill the thing.
I want to sign the treaty, goddammit.
We need this treaty signed.
I want that treaty signed. He's like, fair enough to Palpatine. He didn't get the treaty signed in episode 1.
So it's just, I mean, yeah, fair enough to Palpatine. Like, I get what he's going for. Like, he's trying to be pragmatic, but it's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh, he just wants the treaty signed, Connor. He didn't get it signed in episode 1. He wants to get one treaty signed before the war's over. But yeah, I really liked that moral dilemma with the Jedi and the Chancellor, and I wrote in my notes as well that like the use of the bomb and obviously the message at the start of the episode alludes to it, but the bomb is literally the quick and easy path. The Jedi want to take the harder route of fighting all the droids and using strategy. Palpatine just big bomb, all of that, and then the minute that the Zillo Beast shows up, he just wants to kill it. He just wants to take it out so he can make the deal with the Dugs. It's the quick and easy path. But yeah, like the Zillo Beast itself, like the design of it, I loved as well. I really liked how just the design in general was so weird and kind of different for like a kind of movie monster kind of thing. Like the very thin, gangly build and the multiple arms. It looked weird. Like, and
the fact that his scales and armor were impenetrable too. That's wild.
Yes. Okay. The shot of Anakin like jumping towards the Zillo Beast's leg and the camera like tracking him like jumping towards it was so badass. That was a really cool shot. I really liked it. The whole Zillo Beast scene, like it may just be because like it maybe just recency bias, but like that whole Zillo Beast fight reminded me a bit of the James Gunn Superman. Like partly because of the kaiju fight that happens midway through, but also like the bit where Anakin's hanging onto R2, like, and he's like R2's flying him around. It's like Mr. Terrific hanging onto Crypto the Superdog. Like it was a really fun visual. I'm surprised. Like I was surprised they don't do that more often with R2, with someone hanging onto him for dear life as he flies. It's why they need to use R2's rockets more. It's a fun gimmick.
I mean, dude, R2's the GOAT, so
R2's the GOAT for sure.
Yeah.
But
kind of shocked he hasn't been nominated. Maybe he has in our archives, but I know he's not in the archives yet. I don't know. There's like 5 characters I want to nominate.
Oh yeah,
or
he's
maybe
on my
that
list.
I have nominated, but that haven't won yet.
I'm amazed I've gone this long without nominating Hu Yang. I think I haven't nominated Hu Yang. I might have.
I'm pretty sure I've nominated Keeve Trennis, but she just hasn't won yet.
Yeah. There's going to be a point where we nominate all our faves and they all go up against each other, and that's going to be
it's going to happen.
Oh, it's going to happen for sure.
It's going to happen. I'm trying to think of anything else with this. I mean, my notes are pretty like scarce for these 2 episodes.
I also liked there was also like since we're talking movie monster references, like I was obviously there's Godzilla and stuff, and there's like the whole thing of like the bomb unleashing this horror, and like it's not obviously as deep necessarily as the original Godzilla film, because that was obviously a dark parable about like the dangers of nuclear weapons, and there was a big trauma in Japan at the time because of like obviously the nuclear bombs that were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima in World War II. But like there's
American like, exceptionalism, yay!
But like I like how they incorporate the I think he's back.
What did I miss?
We're just talking about the episode.
Okay.
We're just talking about how sick the fight was. Anakin leaping towards the Zillo Beast, it tracking him, and I was referencing James Gunn's Superman. Like the bit where Anakin holds onto R2 and R2 flies him away was just like, it just reminded me of Mr. Terrific hanging on to Crypto.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but there was a line Dojuris said, which, by the way, I love that every time they bring him up, it's full government name. You helped Dojuris. But he said, I hope your bomb has not upset the delicate balance of our planet. And I'm like, what's this episode going to be about? Like very, very, very on the nose there.
Yeah, like there's a bit of environmentalism in there for sure. Yeah. And I also, there's also some Shadow of the Colossus vibes as well. Did anyone get that vibe when Anakin and R2 were like climbing up the Zillo Beast? Like, I mean, I've played Shadow of the Colossus very recently this year for the first time. So like it was very fresh in my mind, I guess.
There was another great Anakin line of R2, I can't see, turn on your beacon. Immediate, just close-up shot of Zillo Beast. Never mind.
No mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Great line there.
It's like
the beginning of this episode was so fun. I am literally right now just reading my notes off my phone. I only have the StreamYard tab open. I'm like, I am doing whatever I fucking can to make sure my internet stays alive here.
You're hanging on for dear life.
I'm
like
so
Ben Solo.
fucking annoyed. But anyways, the scaled up fight was awesome. Such a goofy ass visual though. We have like this super tense beginning of the episode. There's some. It feels like there's real stakes. Like even though we know Anakin and Mace like are gonna be fine, but it's like, oh my god, like there's this giant freaking kaiju. What the hell is this? But then you just have him like clutching onto R2 as he's flying up out of the sinkhole. Like I just found that really
I love it.
Funny.
And there was such detail in the Zillo Beast as well. Like especially in the second episode, I was really impressed with how detailed the scales were. Like it was just like for such a weird looking creature, it's kind of beautiful to look at in a way.
Yeah, no, that reminds me of something that I grabbed earlier in the week that I will pull up when we get to Zillo Beast Strikes Back. But we find out about the Zillo Beast that they were allegedly extinct. They were killed off when the Dugs started harvesting the fuel that they harvest on Malastare. But there's been this one living in the sinkhole. And then we get the main conflict of this episode. The Jedi don't want to kill the beast because it's a unique life form. They were like, oh, it only defended itself because it's under attack. Mace is really preaching like the typical Jedi isms that you get throughout this series in particular. Like, oh, don't kill off any unique life when we don't need to. But the Dugs want to kill it because it's taking out their people, and Doge refused to sign the treaty unless they help the Dugs kill the Beast. And you really get, like, again, you need that big establishing shot of showing how impenetrable this Beast is, because they drop bomb after bomb on him, nothing. And then this eventually leads to Palpatine getting his idea in the next episode of, hold on, maybe we can use this guy to help with our clone armor. And then we get the conflict of the next episode. But again, like, I was just really impressed of how well we got a kaiju story in Star Wars. Like, yes, there are several beats taken directly from those original Godzilla movies, but they do it so well. And they make the Beast look so intimidating. Even though I was surprised that the kill count in these episodes wasn't as high as I remembered it being. Like, you think like you'd have like clone after clone getting taken out, and you really don't see that. There's only really, I believe, one named clone we see bite it in these episodes, and that's in the second episode. But these were some really intense, really good episodes. And Mace drags his feet, doesn't want to help out the Dugs, but they eventually, after talking with Palpatine, kind of slowly start to work with them. He has a great line: "It isn't the creature, it's the principle." And I thought this episode really showcased, especially in this combo when Mace and Anakin are kind of having that back and forth, highlights the ethics of the Jedi versus the tactics of being at war, and how the Clone Wars is really more and more changing the Jedi and what they believe in and their principles. Even in smaller instances like this episode with the giant freaking kaiju beast, you really get to see how the Jedi have slowly, especially in Anakin's portrayal, how they're slowly starting to change over time as they're generals in war instead of being keepers of the peace.
Yeah, and I'd like to build off of that by like mentioning Anakin, because like this is like you mentioned Anakin's like conflict between Mace and.
Dude, I can't wait till we get to the second episode.
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
fucking hilarious moment.
I thought you were on my side. I am.
The thing that I love about that particular moment in that episode is the fact that he just both sides it.
Yeah. He really does.
That's what I was getting to, yeah. Like, he's just like
God.
the little obnoxious comment he makes at the start, and the look Padme gives him of like,
God,
are you seriously
the general,
the
Chancellor, you have to admit, the Chancellor does make some good points. Like, dude, Anakin, shut up.
I can't wait to get to that point.
Stop showing your little red-pilled ass.
Stop both sides in this. Support your wife. What the fuck?
Oh my God. Like, yeah, but that's what's really cool. It is a good little exploration of Anakin's character and how he is being torn between his Jedi principles and both his Jedi principles, his love for his wife, and his loyalty to the Chancellor and to what the Republic is changing into. Not necessarily what the Republic was, but what it's changing into, really. Like that whole scene, like you mentioned, Connor, with the moment with him and Padme, is like it's funny and a little absurd, but it's fascinating to watch because of the fact that he's just so casual about saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, sometimes we need to keep stuff secret in wartime, even though it violates democracy." Like, okay, it's giving sounds a lot like
he would have loved the American surveillance system in the early 2000s. Oh my God. Anakin Skywalker would have had a field day with the Patriot Act.
Oh God,
you're right, man. But I don't.
George Lucas probably had to be talked out about it.
Like, dude, I could just see it happening. Like, fucking Anakin's like, it's important to keep some stuff secret in the in war, even if it's not totally legal. And then there's us that are just us in the early 2000s. Anakin, you're never gonna fucking believe this.
George had to get talked out of delaying Attack of the Clones by 6 months, so he can't just include a Patriot Act themed storyline between Anakin and Padme in there.
I mean, he made him quote George Bush, so
true.
There we are.
But they bring this up to Palpatine and Connor's "Hear Me Out," the Doctor, and Anakin and Mace.
Dude, we also have to talk about in relation to that, Clone Wars Mon Mothma
just randomly shows up in the second episode.
Yeah, randomly shows up. And let me tell you, Clone Wars Mon Mothma, man. That's all I got. Just phenomenal.
It is the 100th episode after all.
I mean,
but they decided to make it look like they killed the beast. I say we killed the beast. So that they can transport it off the planet to study its armor and use it for the clone armor, and that way they can get the treaty signed. And then at this point, I'm like, hold on. Rewatching the Bad Batch is really starting to help this episode, especially like you start to see Palpatine's brain start to click of like, hold on, I can use this thing to my advantage. And it took several years, but we finally got there. So the Jedi end up
gotten to that episode.
I
just finished episode 4
of season 3.
Yes.
Ooh.
It was because of the Zillo Beast episodes. Because I remember season 2. I think season 2 in Bad Batch. Zillo Beast shows up, right?
Yeah, the clone shows up.
Okay, the clone shows up because I'm like, wait a minute. I think I remember this showing up beforehand. And then I watched this episode. I watched these episodes, and I'm like, I think I remember hearing something about the Zillo Beast in season 3. I'll have to get to that. So, because of these 2 episodes, I'm slowly starting to actually finally get through to season.
Yeah, when you get more into the Tanis stuff,
in like 6 weeks,
full on into more of the Zillo Beast stuff. So the Jedi end up joining up with the Dugs. They plan on using their tanks they have as a part of the plan, but then the Dugs start pouring their fuel on the Beast to kill it. And then the Doge asshole's like, "Oh, we'll handle this, Jedi." I'm like, "Well, will you handle it? Like, we know how this is happening here."
And then the Zillo just climbs out of the hole. He's like, "You know what? Screw it. I'll just smash all of you." Was I the only one disappointed that Doge Urus didn't get stomped towards the end?
Yeah, he just kind of like makes it out of the episode and like, oh, another successful treaty signed. I'm like, I would have liked it if your shit got rocked though, dude. Like that would have been fun.
I kind of find it funny with the Dugs, incidentally. Like the Toydarians, when we talked about the Toydarians, they were very much a shift away from Watto, and Watto's the stereotype Watto perpetuated of like Toydarians that being greedy, and it's like, oh no, they're actually a really noble warrior race, really. But like, it seems like Dugs, they're just a bunch of sneaky bastards. Like Sebulba wasn't really like a bad apple. It seems like they all kind of are like that.
Every time we talk about the Toydarians, I just remember how that king, like the last we see of him, and that's gonna be fun to revisit.
Oh,
it's just graphic.
You ignorant beast.
Savage Opress, man. But again, it goes full Godzilla mode. They try to use the rays on the tank to stun the Zillo Beast. Starts taking out tank after tank. Again, straight out of a kaiju movie. But eventually it starts to tire the beast out. It gets knocked unconscious. The Dugs think it's killed. Treaty is signed. Malstar joins the Republic. Everything seems happy. We're going to release the beast into the wild. But no! Instead of putting it in the Outer Rim like they planned, the twist at the end of the episode is Palpatine orders that they bring the beast to Coruscant. And then that leads to next episode. And thankfully, a big city like that thing wouldn't escape and wreak havoc on the planet. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Of all the places to take that thing, you choose the like freaking Ecumenopolis with so many people. Mm-hmm. It's like, even by Palpatine standards, that is like some shaky logic there.
Yeah.
And I also love, like Connor brought up the Doctor as well. I kind of find it funny that Palpatine just acts like a dick around her just because he can get away with it. Like he can get away with showing. It's almost like someone.
Oh yeah, no, just straight up like Dr. Bowl is like gives a bunch of reasons as to why they shouldn't kill it, and fucking Palpatine's like, "Fuck off, kill the beast."
It looked at me the wrong way. Like,
Yeah,
What?
no, it literally did though. Like, I kind of find that hilarious that they just have this weird like hatred for each other. Palpatine and the Zillo Beast. It just he just mean mugs it the whole way through, and then it's just it gets so angry that's why it busts out. I wrote in my notes like that. King Kong may have been bewitched by the beauty of Anne Darrow, but like the Zillo Beast is solely motivated by its hatred of Palpatine.
That man is
it was ugly that killed the beast.
It's fueled by its hate.
It was ugly that killed the beast.
Oh God.
It's just like it's wild because like we're gonna get it. I don't know. It's just funny to me that like he's like, oh yeah, like Palpatine's like, oh yeah, we'll keep the beast here. We'll kill it, and it's like, why?
Why?
Yeah.
You wanted to do this before. Like, why bring it to Coruscant?
Yeah, like why could have taken it anywhere? Like,
here's my question.
Space,
dude.
Here's my question.
Like,
because the whole plan is, we're gonna use the beast to make new clone armor, and he's like, just kill it. And then we get the reveal at the end of the episode. But it's like, why didn't they just still, after they killed the beast, just make the clone armor? Like that just seems like, oh, guess we can't do that. It's like, I mean, you could. It's like, well, does its armor like lose its effectiveness like once it's dead? Like we I don't know. I just found that kind of confusing of why he couldn't still use it for his plans.
I may be off here, but was it because they were going to use the armor for the Death Star? Perhaps is that part of what they were going to use it for, and maybe that's why.
You know what? I didn't think about that.
For the Clone Wars.
I didn't think about that. I did not think about that at all. I think you're. Right.
I need to have I should check Wikipedia really. I mean, I think maybe there might have been something in Catalyst about it because Catalyst is a weird novel. I would recommend it because it really builds off of Clone Wars stuff a lot. Like there was a lot of stuff there. Like Loch Durd is name checked in that book. Like and also Nouveau Vindu. It's so wild. Like Krennic considers using them as like a prisoner exchange thing for someone, I think, and it's such a wild thing that this otherwise very serious grounded book that's like dealing with the politics of like early Imperial shit and the building of the Death Star name checks these wacky Clone Wars characters. But yeah, it's the Zillo thing is weird. It's weird with like Palpatine's motivations for bringing it there. It is a little shaky, but I kind of, Palpatine's a Sith. He does weird shit. And it breaking out the way that it does was very amusing, especially with a little robot that's like trying to pick the scales off of it. Like I didn't like that droid at all. It blinked.
Like droids when they blink,
little.
You need a reason to get the big monster to wreak havoc on the city.
Yeah. It's like,
but I guess
I think that would make people want to depose Palpatine as Chancellor. Do you know what I mean? Like,
nah, they're like, hey, give this guy more power.
What? This guy let a rampaging monster go through the city, kill goodness knows how many people, innocent civilians who were just minding their business. But sure, let's just give him even more emergency powers.
Yeah. But I guess right there we can segue
it's almost like the Senate's out of touch with what the local populace wants. Who could have figured?
Whoa. Never would have guessed that. It's almost like George knew what he was doing. But anyways, we can move on to The Zillo Beast Strikes Back, directed by Stuart Lee, written by Stephen Melching. Our moral this time is the most dangerous beast is the beast within. Real quickly, I just want to shout out. I was looking on Wikipedia before this episode, and they released this poster when this episode dropped. Look at that shit.
Dude, I just thought of this. There's that fucking like random ass scene in Austin Powers. I'll just read the quote where it's like, run, it's Godzilla. And then the other guy goes, it looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright law, it's not. Still, we should run like it's Godzilla. And I feel like that's I feel like
what the Zillo Beast is
perfect for the Zillo Beast. Too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Like, and if the first episode was very Godzilla themed, then the second is definitely very King Kong themed. Not just with the death of the Zillo Beast, but also like they make it climb a skyscraper.
Yeah, it climbs a skyscraper.
And it's like swatting Republic gunships out of the air and stuff. That's really cool. And you get, like we alluded to earlier, you get the whole thing of Anakin sort of being torn between like agreeing with Padme and agreeing with Palpatine, and Obi-Wan's sort of here, just sort of expressing mild disapproval at everything because that's just how Obi-Wan rolls.
He just he gets the first episode off, and he gets to show up in the second one. So we start off. The Zillo Beast is transferred to Coruscant, and again, the look Palpatine shoots the Beast when it passes by him, and I'm just like, is nobody else just noticing how sinister this man is looking during the beginning of this episode and being like, yo, what's up with Sheev over there? Like, why is he giving this thing a death glare?
Like, I love the thought of kids who just watched the Clone Wars who didn't have any idea that Palpatine was the evil Sith Lord, just kind of going, why is Palpatine, why is the Chancellor looking so evil?
Why does he have this evil smirk on his face in every single scene, and why does no one notice it?
It's why Ian Abercrombie is such a great choice to voice Palpatine, because he has such a gentle voice. And it lends itself so well to Palpatine's dialogue, where he's just being this kind of seemingly servile politician, but really he's just completely full of venom. It just like the voice clashes so perfectly, but in a good way, with like the evil glares that he gives. It's brilliant.
But you mentioned Obi-Wan, and he does show up in this episode. Him and Mace are discussing pretty much last episode's events and talking about the Beast being brought to Coruscant. And Palpatine really just refusing to listen to anything they have to say regarding it, and eventually leading to Palpatine saying, hey, let's just kill this thing, when the doctor is just having trouble getting any of the scales removed to start working on the armor. And
then he gives the whole bullshit thing of like, he throws the whole moral duty thing back in her face, where she's just like, it's her moral obligation not to kill the Beast. And he's like, well, fuck you. It's her moral obligation to kill it so we can finish this war. And I'm like, Palpy, fair, but also not fair.
He's like, I'll find a way to kill the Beast, or I'll find someone who will. I'm like,
it's like, I'll replace you with someone who will kill this guy.
Someone with no scruples. Probably Krennic.
Probably. That would have been, if they had Orson Krennic planned in 2010, that would have been a cool little cameo there. Like,
oh, like shows up and like pops his finger on top of the Zillo Beast's head.
He just starts proselytizing about calcite.
Synthetic calcite. Calcite alternative.
It confronted the Zillo Beast on your own.
I mean, the amount of time spent pondering over this grubby creature is frankly astonishing.
Ah, man.
Yeah,
no.
It breaks out.
It breaks out, rampages, like just has a mad on for Palpatine. It just goes, where's
like,
that?
It's the funniest thing about this episode to me is the fact that like Yoda and Aayla Secura just randomly just team up to like face down the Zillo. Like,
hell yeah.
Just never would have expected to team up. I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah, Clone Wars.
Lego Star Wars like level pairing there. Yoda and Aayla Secura right there.
Yeah, that's totally a Lego Star Wars level pairing.
For this half of the level. Yoda,
Aayla Secura.
Yep. So
that was badass. Like them like running around the creature nice. But that was badass with the two of them like running around distracting the creature and stuff. Like that whole sequence was very cool, and it was goofy in the best kind of Star Wars way. Like, you had Anakin and Padme and Palpatine running away with 3PO and R2. My favorite bit of like a lot of that sequence was when R2 is like falling down the Senate building and he fires out his tow cable, and then the little boink noise that he makes when he writes himself. Absolutely hilarious. It was like a perfect little boink.
Another favorite thing of mine was when like they were starting to figure out like how to really capture it or contain it, and Obi-Wan says something like, oh, not to worry, Anakin has a plan or whatever, or something about it being improvised. And then fucking Mace Windu with one of the greatest lines ever. How can it be a plan if it's improvised?
Yeah.
What
is Skywalker doing? It appears to be one of Anakin's improvised plans.
And you got Rex at the end saying, a lot of the general's plans involve falling.
That was a great line. If you circle back a little bit more talking more about Padme and Palpatine's face-off. Masamita, such a passive-aggressive asshole in this scene. To Padme.
I'd forgotten how much of a bitch Masamita is. He's like, he's such a catty person. Like, he's a dodgy one.
And then, of course, the Padme just straight up calling Anakin out, like, "You're supposed to be on my side. Why aren't you helping?" It's like, oh, it makes a lot of good points. It just being straight up devil's advocate. I'm like, Anakin, you are not.
What is the good point
buddy.
here? What is the good point, Anakin?
That man slept on the couch that night.
Fucking Anakin Skywalker is the median voter.
He's just mad that Obi-Wan called his wife on him and like brought his wife in. He's like, "Oh, why'd you bring Padme in? Now she's gonna make it a whole thing about about the rights of the Zillo Beast and stuff."
Like this is like this. Truthfully, this is probably how Anakin was written. But like, dude, Anakin Skywalker is the fucking median voter.
Yeah,
like he is.
Well, man wrote one Facebook article and he's like, "I've completely changed my viewpoint on everything in my life."
Or he's just like,
well, I mean, Padme, I was going to
dot.
You know, Padme, I was really interested in like your very like passionate speech about like the rights of this creature, but then I scrolled through the HoloNet and it changed my mind.
5 seconds later, Padme, I just read about this Zillo Beast. We have to save it. Like,
yeah, fucking like this is the same guy that's like against the Talls. He's like,
what are those things? 5 minutes later, I will defend these creatures with my life.
So funny.
That might have just been because
that is truly one of the funniest things, at least so far, that we've experienced in Clone Wars. Is the fact that the Talls, he's like, what are these things? And then fucking a couple minutes later, we'll die for them.
I think it's just because he hated the Pantoran governor that much. He was like, you know what? I'll put my racism aside because I hate you. I hate you this much.
Oh man,
it's not, I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at like someone being a dick. You can excuse racism,
but he had so many cool shots while the Beast is just wreaking havoc on the city. So many great tributes to, like you said, Godzilla, to King Kong. The awesome shot of the Zillo Beast, just his eye, just staring down Palpatine in his office. One of the best moments of the entire episode. There are moments where I was like, if I was just going to say, I love this episode, I feel like I would have been terrified watching portions of this episode. But as you were going to say,
it's creepy.
It is.
Like, okay, I was going to say that I love that Palpatine in that moment is just scared. Like when it's just, it shows how much of a wimp he actually is. Like how much of a dark, like for all the bragging of power, the Darksiders are actually like total wimps when they're on an even footing with someone. Like when, like he was all smirks and mean mugging when Zillo Beast was tied up, but the second that it has the advantage and it's glaring at him, he's scared and he just gets the F out of there. Like
I mean, realistically, it's one sweep from the Beast and his entire multi-year plan is done. And that man,
yeah, and also
gone.
While we're talking about the escape plan, you know, fuck that random like Senate guard, man. If he'd just been a little more selfish, he could have saved the galaxy a lot of pain. He's like, no, sir, you go, you're more important. Gets immediately smushed. I'm like, man, you know, he must have got if he even like got to the Star Wars equivalent of the afterlife, he must have looked at the next few years and gone, God damn it.
Then there was those two clones that are like guarding the door and just immediately get taken out when the Beast escapes.
Yeah, and you mentioned the named one, like saying, you know, if it's almost as thick as they say it is, what are these blasters gonna do? Shut up, Cosmo! Immediately they all die.
Immediately. There's a moment in the Geonosis episode. It's like, thank God those bugs can't aim. Immediately, it's blown up. That's coming up too.
Oh man,
dude, I forget.
Oh my God, I forgot about good thing those bugs can't aim. 5 seconds later, it gets fucking blown up. Oh my God,
good shit.
Jesus,
it's season 2 episodes.
It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
That might be one of my favorite Clone Wars moments ever, dude. Oh my god, good. You know, I'm fucking watching that shit on YouTube, man. Holy crap!
Was it
That is
just
real.
me, Don, or like when they're like hightailing it out of there to escape from Palpatine's office? I was getting reminders of Clone Wars 03 and like Shakti and all those Jedi like trying to get Palpatine off Coruscant.
Yeah,
I
I
wonder
got
if they
reminded
were
of that
like
because
kind
when
of
it's staring at him through the
alluding to that.
window, when it's staring at him through the window, like it reminds me of the bit where they're on the elevator and Grievous is like running down the wall alongside the elevator and glares at them through the glass. It was very similar to that. It was so cool, Andrew. Like
It was
both of those
so cool.
instances.
It wasn't even. I just watched that clip, Andrew. It wasn't even 5 seconds. It was like
It's
half a
immediate.
second.
Yeah.
Really instantly.
Oh my
Well, we get
God.
an I got a bad feeling about this from Palpatine. We again a lot of the general's plans involve.
Oh, that felt
falling.
so wrong. That didn't feel right. Him saying it, I was like, no, you don't get to say that.
You don't
No, the
get to
Jedi
say
can say
that.
it. You can't.
You can't sit with us, Sheev.
You're
Come on.
all bad
Say it
feeling. Go
because
away.
you caused most of the bad feelings. So
Yeah.
You are all of the bad feelings.
And then another it's so cool I have written down here was what we talked about earlier, Yoda and Aayla Secura scaling the freaking beast again. Like it was great. And then we get a he said it moment where Anakin's like, all right, here's where the fun begins. I'm like,
Yes. Yeah,
it's just like
he said the
Star
thing.
Wars. It's just like that one line in
yeah, it's
Star
like that
Wars.
movie Revenge of the Sith where Anakin
It's that one
Skywalker
line in
says,
Star
this
Wars.
is where the fun begins. And then here he says, here's where the fun begins. It's like an illusion of sorts, a metaphor.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
That-
Mace and Obi-Wan, yeah, the ship is falling. They save Palpatine in the ship. Anakin saves Padme. 3PO and R2 are just falling off the damn thing. R2 saves everything.
And 3PO, oh my god, the shot of 3PO landing, clunking onto the floor, like standing up, immediately the Zillo Beast looks at him and he just runs away like, oh no! That is so very prequel coded. Like, that's very Attack of the Clones coded. Poor C-3PO being stuck in like a comedy situation.
But everyone manages to get the hell out of there while the gas bombs are being fired at the beast. And the gas eventually kills the beast. Like you said, it was the beast that killed the beast, or Ugly that killed the beast.
Yeah.
And then we end with the wham line of the episode where Palpatine's like, Dr. Bull, I have new orders for you. It's like, you want me to clone the Zillo Beast? And 13 years later, this pays off.
And she's like, did you learn nothing?
Bad Batch. It's like, no, he did not, actually. He said, hey, I can beat this thing. Clone it. I'm going to use this for my weird cloning plans that will pay off even later down the line. But again, watching these, I'm actually kind of glad that it took us this long to get to this episode and that we watched them after the Bad Batch, because I feel like if we were watching this as the Bad Batch was airing, we'd be like, oh, but we don't know how this ends. And like now to like have that full context, unless your name is Connor Chikiti, I think it improved these episodes tremendously. But I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this episode. It had all the makings of a great kaiju story. I thought the second episode, having that take place in Coruscant, like right in the heart of the underbelly of Coruscant, I think made the episode more impactful just because the striking visuals of it literally wreaking havoc on Coruscant, throwing shit everywhere, having those King Kong Godzilla moments. It was just really cool. And I again, that poster I showed straight out of Godzilla posters from the 50s and 60s. Like, it's just, the marketing there was tremendous. And I wish I was paying attention to the series when it was going out, because I feel like the advertisements they would have done for this would have been sweet.
They missed a trick not marketing it with like a dude wearing a Zillo Beast outfit and like doing the have you guys seen the clip where Godzilla goes like that, yeah, and does like uses his tail to like sweep forward, and he's got both of his feet sticking forward to do this like double kick thing. It is the goofiest thing I've ever seen Godzilla do, but I would have loved to see the Zillo Beast. I'm gonna find it.
They should have had like a mock-up in like New York City or something of just some dude in a Zillo Beast costume just walking up a building. Like that would have been sick. If they just went all out with the marketing here. But what did you guys think of these episodes overall as we wrap up this arc?
Not too
I
bad.
really liked the.
I liked.
Yeah,
I
I
liked it.
really
They were
liked.
cool.
I really liked these episodes. It was very, they were very straightforward. That's the thing I like. They had great production
Yeah.
values. They were very to the point. It was a really nice homage to the monster, the whole monster genre, like you said. I liked the allusions to Godzilla, King Kong, a little bit of Shadow of the Colossus. I would have liked a little bit like if they had dug a little deeper into stuff, because there's some tantalizing things there about like, you know, the politics of bringing the Zillo Beast onto Coruscant and how that might affect Palpatine, and also the environmentalism on Malastare. It's hinted at a little bit. They don't go enough into it, and I would have loved to have explored that a little bit more and shown how the war is literally wrecking the environments of these planets, and the Zillo Beast is a manifestation of that. Because I said to Connor when you were when you blipped out, Andrew, but like the original Godzilla film obviously is rooted in the trauma of the nuclear bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and like that felt very informed in that movie. So it would have kind of paralleled a little bit with that, really, and dug into the roots of the genre a little bit. But like, you know, considering this is a very kid-centric show, and we're still in season 2 as well. That's the caveat that I have to put on it, because like season 2 was like they were flexing a bit more. They were definitely stretching a lot more. Like season 2 got a lot darker, but it was like in season 3, I would say, where they were very confidently like, yes, this is a young adult show. We can pitch this a little older, in addition to kids. So it as an episode, like I liked this as a kid. It was really straightforward and like and a lovely homage to the monster movie genre.
Yeah. No, I think I remember when I first watched this, I remember being like, oh, this kind of stands out because it is just a Godzilla story in Star Wars. But like now that we've had the Beast come back and we have gotten more content, I'm watching this Godzilla. Oh, that's
It was the fact that you couldn't finish the sentence. It was that weird.
I was like, oh, just boom. But yeah, no, I had fun with this. I think my favorite of the two was the second episode. I think that was the strongest. I did like that first episode a lot, but I think even though Malastare looked really cool, and this was definitely like, look at this cool production budget we have, guys. Like kind of episodes, like they were really showing off the animation at points.
Oh, totally.
And I think having one take place in like the eerie Malastare setting, and then the other one be in the heart of the city of Coruscant, I thought they contrasted really well with each other, and I thought it was a nice little pair of episodes. So next time is going to be a fun one as we go into 100 and beyond of Star Wars. Next time we get to the Clone Wars, it's another standalone. It is Senate Spy, aka the Rush Clovis episode. I'm going to be mad watching that one, boys. I hate that guy so much.
My goodness.
So we're going to see those two really good friends together in that episode. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for 100 episodes of For the Republic. When we started this show 3.5 years ago at this point, a little over that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that we're here, the fact that we hit 100 subs a couple weeks ago on YouTube is awesome. We will be doing that live stream soon. We're going to figure out a date at some point. It felt fitting to have our 100th episode be Clone Wars, where we started, where we're going to continue. And we will be continuing on with Clone Wars Season 2 after Senate Spy. We have the second Battle of Geonosis arc. So we're really getting into some good stuff coming up. It's going to be a fun time.
Bugs can't aim.
They can't aim. But again, thank you. It means the world. Thank you for sticking with us for 100 episodes. Hope you stick around for 100 more. And we're going to have a lot of fun together for the rest of the year and beyond. So, gentlemen, This has been fun. Where can everyone find you, starting with Connor?
Instagram, ConmanJFO, Blue Sky, Step a Banana. Discord, I'm not giving that out. You got to subscribe to our Patreon for that. I also co-host over at the Nerd Academy podcast. I specifically talk Star Wars there over at the Knights of the Nerd Republic show that we have there. And then I co-host and co-write questions for Star Wars in the Galaxy Epic Confrontations, along with Don here below me. You can find all of our past, present, and future matches over at the Star Wars in the Galaxy YouTube channel, and follow us on social media at In a Galaxy Trivia. Just Google that. I guess you'll find us. If you don't find us, I don't fucking know. Don, where?
Right. So you can find me on Twitter at Donovan Mead, TikTok at Donovan McComish, Instagram and Threads at Donovan_McComish, Blue Sky, DonovanMcComish.bsky.social. Like Connor said, I am also a question writer for Star Wars in a Galaxy Epic Confrontations. And I have also written a Star Wars fan story that is out there in the wild. I need to update the link. I'm planning on uploading it to some other sites so other people can read it. It was called Scars of War. It's a fan story that takes place 3 years after Revenge of the Sith. No, it's 5 years actually. 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, and it's about a clone trooper that deserted the Empire and has been living in seclusion in the Outer Rim until he meets a Jedi survivor of Order 66. My tagline for it is, if you like Star Wars and pain, then maybe give it a shot. It was a lot of fun to write.
As for myself, you can find me Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Starlight Andrew. You can follow the pod on Twitter at For the Repub Pod, on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky at For the Republic Pod. Subscribe to us on YouTube, For the Republic Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. You should be able to find us there. Hopefully next time I'll be here with either working internet or a working ring light. We shall see. This episode's gonna be a bitch to edit, but thank you again for helping us get to this goal. To reach 100 episodes, we are so happy, but we're not done yet, not by a long shot. So we'll see you guys next time. But until next time, take care, and may the Force be with you, always.